Hello everyone, it's Anthony here for AQW Blaze 91 once again, and today I'm going to be going through a list of games that I've recently been purchasing all through July, but I'm going to give out a little quick message. July's been quite a bit of a hectic month. Been trying to get back on my currently scheduled project, which I'll talk about now. I've been focusing on this game here, so I'm going to mention Neptunia. I'll be going on that tonight, by the way. And I've been getting as much of the trophies done and dusted, as well as hoping to eventually finish it up. And I'm about 60% through the trophies. I'm enjoying the game so far. I'm learning about each of the characters, who they parody, personify. I'm getting all the references and having a good laugh with it. And it's better for the Neptunia game. This is a comedy game where it's all nothing but laughs. Laughs, jokes, gaming references, fan service, whatever. I'm enjoying it. And I'm hoping to finish it soon, sooner than I expected. But I'm on to the second half of the game, and I'm hoping I'll get through it quickly, so that I can start a new series, a new project, which I'll be talking about tomorrow. So that's not going to be important for what I'm going to do. So I'll put this back. So what I got here, guys, are some new games I picked up. And as much as I do have a lot of other things I should be doing, like continuing on my game or sorting out my stuff, there's just a lot going on. I'll just try and work things out a bit slowly, but right now I'll just talk about what games I just picked up, and as usual just have a quick talk about these new games I picked up. But please know I haven't played through all of them to give a full subjective opinion on each of them. They're just going to be all sets of games, big pickups that we've been looking to get. So in either case, guys, let's get on with games, but they're all going to be in the order in which the date I got them in. So let's start out with the first one. First up, for the PlayStation 4, Oculus Trip, Undead and Undressed. This was an action role-playing game that my friend told me about, and I actually got this game for the PlayStation 3. Yeah, I'll just show you quickly. Here it is, Oculus Trip, Undead and Undressed for the PlayStation 3. This game I originally got for the PlayStation 3 for my 27th birthday. Yeah, sure, I had to wait till the weekend to finally get the game, but it doesn't matter too much. But hey, at least I got it. And I got it now for the PlayStation 4. And the reason for getting it for the PlayStation 4 is because the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation Vita versions of this game have separate trophy lists. So that means if you want to do a trophy list of the PlayStation 3 and then get the PlayStation 4 version to do a separate trophy list, yeah, you can do that. You can fill up a trophy collection with it. This is good for filling up the trophies with. And it's this crazy Japanese game where you're stripping off various enemy guys and gals down to their underwear. It's ridiculous. it's insane. My friend told me about it. I looked at a video clip of it on YouTube and just totally shocked by it. And yeah, and me and my friends actually have conversations about this game, like how did a game like this got released on Japanese store shelves and it got approved for a localization, but it doesn't matter, we got it. And it's just ridiculous fun if you don't take any of the content in it seriously. It's called Undead and Undressed for a reason. And I'm kind of used to the humour, the undressing humour that's depicted in this game, because I watched plenty of cartoons, not anime, but cartoons, where this kind of thing happens. Characters, where they are either forced to take off their clothes or end up in a strict situation, and they end up embarrassed in front of everybody. And this kind of thing is just hilarious. I like it though. My friend likes it, I like it. Combat system is really good. The graphics on is really good. It's all about doing enough damage to the enemy's clothing and then eventually pulling them off, so that eventually the enemies die in the sun. Sunlight, so sunlight kills them. That's what I meant to say. The graphics of this have gotten a bit of a rework from the PS3 version. It might look a little bit overly bright on the PC monitors, but on an actual TV, it actually looks good. On the television screen, it actually looks really good. But on a PC monitor, it doesn't look that great. It looks so overly bright on the PC monitor. But I do admit, it actually does look nice on a TV, on an actual TV. So I highly recommend this. This on the PS4, PS3, or the Vita. I've yet to play the Vita version, but I actually will locate a PlayStation Vita version of it if I can, hardware the physical copy. But if not, I'll just download it on the PlayStation Network store. It's PlayStation TV compatible, I think. Last I checked, anyway. Right, next up, Warpath Jurassic Park. A Jurassic Park fighting game. I'm kind of like, what? A Jurassic Park fighting game? For real? And it is, and it exists. And published by EA. You guessed it, you're seeing it, EA. EA Games. I'll let you have a look at it. Yep. EA. The same EA that is known for their shady practices with microtransactions. Especially in Star Wars Battlefront 2, the 2017 version. But nevertheless, it's not that bad of a fighting game. I mean, they're all the various different dinosaurs, from a T-Rex to a Megaraptor, that you've probably seen from the films. I haven't watched any of the Jurassic Park movies, because possibly as a kid I might have been too young to see it. Or it might have been, or might not have understood it. You might not have been allowed to see it. Who knows? But at last we have the Jurassic Park fighting game, and it's not a bad fighting game. The controls can be a little bit janky, and the character position can be a little bit awkward, especially when you could be like, I'm back. Right, the little jump cut. Right, so as I was saying, the controls can be a little bit janky, and you can be thrown in a position where you can be flailing about and not be hitting your opponent. But in terms of a fighting game, it's at least better than Star Wars Masters of Teräs Käsi and Dragon Ball GT Final Bout and The Simpsons Wrestling, which were three of some of the worst fighting games in existence. All three of them deserve a high contender rating for being one of the worst, some of the worst fighting games in existence. But this one isn't half bad compared to those. It's playable. It's somewhat tolerable. There is some feeling to it. There's actually some physics to it, like when you can actually grab a bite onto a raptor's neck and just flail them about. And the dinosaurs actually do have some weight to them. So not bad, considering I got this for free from, what was it, the Vision 21 Festival in Spectrum. And here's the next game, which I also got from the festival. Rayman 2, The Great Escape. A Rayman platformer. I've got Rayman 3 HD for free with my PlayStation Plus subscription on my PlayStation 3. And I quite enjoy going through Rayman 3 again. I never finished Rayman 3 before. I had it for the PS2 a long time ago, but I never got around to finishing it. And the reason I got that was because my school had it with an Xbox. And here's Rayman 2, The Great Escape, which was one of the top rated platformers at the time. Now I've only played the first 20 minutes of it just to test the disc to see if it was working, because the disc was in such a very bad shape when I got it, and so I had to try and clean as much of the dirt and scratches from it, and surprisingly it works. Although I have to play a bit more into it. See if it fully works or not. It's Rayman 2, and it's still a fantastic game even after all these damn years. Right, next up, Sega Mega Drive Classics for the PS4, where it has 50 built-in Sega Mega Drive games, all in a single compilation disc, even featuring some of the games that were missing from the PlayStation 3 version of the Sega Mega Drive compilation, such as Sword of Vermilion, I think, was absent from the PS3 version. So this does make it, and there's quite a lot of more games on here. Comes free. It's got Ass Kid, Alien Soldier, Alien Storm, Altered Beast, Beyond Oasis, which is the story of 4, which is released which is what the game is released over in Europe as. Super Thunder Blade, Revenge of Shinobi, Shinobi 3, Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3, Sonic the Hedgehog 1, 2, 3. Oh no, it's just Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2. Sonic 3D Blast, which is Sonic 3D Flinky's Island. Over here, Phantasy Star 1, 2, 3, 4. Golden Axe 1, 2, 3. Virtua Fighter 2. Spectreman, and so forth. There's just a lot of Mega Drive games on here. There's just a lot of new games on here. that's included into this compilation, and it's really good. It also gave it a poster as well, which is a Streets of Rage 1 poster, although I'm not going to bother putting that on my wall. Another thing here, just like with the PlayStation 3 version, is ability to use save states, where if you like get into a really hard section, if you don't feel like losing all your lives, it continues. You don't want to start all over again. The save states put you back exactly where you were. And it allows for graphic filters as well. If you want to filter up your TV or play the way they used to look. As well as unlockable trophies and the mirror mode as well. New exciting ways to play, which is a brilliant thing. So we've still got a Lust for the Mega Drive or Sega Genesis in America, if you're American. This is a good compilation to get for. I got it for 20 quid as well, which is more worth the value. Right, next up, something in the category I would never necessarily tackle. This one is Too Dark for the PS4. A dark and disturbing indie game from Gloomywood and Big Ben, and developed by the man who created Alone in the Dark. That's right, anybody who owned a DOS gaming PC in 1992 will know exactly what Alone in the Dark is. It was the game that created the survival horror genre before Resident Evil came into existence. Too Dark is a very atmospheric and grit and dark game, as you would expect from the title, done in a very 2D-ish setting by the look that will remind you of the Super Nintendo and Sega Mega Drive looking games back in the day. Except that the Sega Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo did not have any horror games, any survival horror games released to their platform at all. But the Super Nintendo in Japan, the Super Famicom, did have Clock Tower, which was a survival horror game, but only released in Japan, obvious. Because Nintendo possibly would not have wanted a survival horror game with gore or blood, violence and gore on their platform, even though we have Mortal Kombat. Yeah, for their family-friendly system. This game, Too Dark, is actually a very difficult game if you don't know what you're doing. You have to explore around and figure out the puzzles that you have to do in order to safely rescue all the children. Because in the game's story, your wife is killed and your two children have been kidnapped, and you're left figuring out the reasons behind these child abductions, and you have to try and rescue them. And it's a very challenging game. I only went through the first chapter of the game to see it working. I have got the physical copy of this. This game is theoretically a digital download, but it do exist a special edition physical copy. It will come like an art book, an audio CD, and the game itself, which I have right here. It's upside down because I just want the cover. I want the logo on the side. I really do like this game. It's challenging, and the fact The game is really short. Yes, you will die frequently if you don't know what you're doing, but it's one of those, yeah, you can possibly beat through this game in a single sitting, unless that is you just want to get off it from the graphic content. Yes, this game is very graphic. It involves a lot of child abductions and serial killers. So it's not for the weak-stomached or weak-hearted, people say. Weak-stomached should be the same. But other than that, it's a very good game if you like a huge, dark, atmospheric game. And a very challenging game as well. And it's very challenging because you have to be very stealthy in this game. Stealth is a must. And combat has to be avoided at all times. Because you carry very little because you have very little ammunition. This is not something about you taking a run and gun approach. And if you try to run and gun if you ever dare try to run and gun through it, you'll get killed instantly. This is a game that's meant to punishes you for reckless actions. So stealth is your friend in this game. So, really good game. I actually really do hope to go through this. Alright, and the next one up is on the PlayStation 3. And it's Fairy Fencer F. Okay, first of all, what's with the title name? Fairy Fencer F? What the hell does F mean for this? Sure would like to know. Would it be Fair Eyes? Why not call it Fairy Fencer Fair Eyes? But whatever the case, it's a Japanese role-playing game developed by the same people, I've looked up, it's true, developed by the same developers who worked on the Hyperdimension Neptunia series. So if you play any of the Hyperdimension Neptunia games, this one is more up your alley. I already played this for 20 minutes to see it working. And I can't really give much of a first impression on it, other than, yeah, I got it working. But here's the thing, the price I got for this. I got it for £8. No joke. The price tag on it said $34.99 till $17.49 reduced. But then when I took it up to the till, they reduced it to £8.99 because they lost the front cover for it. The person who got it last tossed away the front cover, but the disc is still there, as you can see, and the book is still there. So I'll be reading the book by the time I start playing the game. So what's my impression on this game? Well, the combat system is okay. There's not too much to get not much to talk about. Standard turn-based stuff. Only that for some reason when you transform, the character stabs himself with a sword to transform. That's kind of suicidal. I think the same way the characters from Persona 3 put a gun-like device to summon their personas in Persona 3, which is messed up. But whatever the case, it's a Japanese game. What do I think about the main character, Fang, though, the guy you play as? He's an idiot. He pulls out a sword where this fairy you meet here comes out, and he says, yeah, let's go collect the other fairies. And he's all like, wait, really? No, I don't want to collect the other fairies, even though I just pulled the damn sword out. I just wanted some food. That's initially my first impression with him. He just wants to find excuses to eat and sleep. And apparently he steals some bread and he ends up in jail for it. And this girl here even tries to save him and talk him out of it. Wish the main character was this one. Would be this girl right here. Wish she was the main protagonist. But oh well. Doesn't matter though. I'll eventually meet her. Whoever she is. So that's my impression on Fairy Fencer. It's not bad. It's not a bad game. But the frame rate during combat is just so bad. It's got a really bad frame rate. It's noticeable with the original Hyperdimension Neptunia. The frame rate is so bad. It's like it's being run on like last gen hardware or something. And it was a game made in 2013. 3 years after Hyperdimension Neptunia came out. Yeah, I know. Those were the years when the game came out in Japan. And I'm assuming like Hyperdimension Neptunia came out in 2011 in English. And I'm thinking Fairy Fencer F came out in 2013 in English the same year, or 2014 in English. I have no idea. I never looked up on Wikipedia about it. But I do know there's a Fairy Fencer F on PS4, which I think is an upgraded port of the game. Although I have not yet looked into it. So I'll check that one out. So I'll check those out eventually. Now next on my most recent 4 games I just picked up, and they're all on the Game Boy Advance. Cartridge form though. They're all in cartridge form because I recently just picked these up just now from a friend of Vision 21 in IT. And I picked these up, all 4 cartridges, just for a tenner. Well, not bad considering they're only just Game Boy Advances. And the Game Boy Advance is a really old console. So I have no boxes for these, just only the cartridges. Here they are. I'll show them all one by one. Just my initial impressions on them. First up, Serious Sam Advance, a first-person shooter on the Game Boy Advance. First-person shooters are not so much of a common occurrence on the Game Boy Advance. Because the Game Boy Advance has very limited capabilities of handling them. Although there are GBA FPS games that are decent, X vs. Server is the best of them. The port of Doom is alright. Dark Arena is a good one. But this one's a mixed bag. It's alright. I mean, you can't criticize it too much, considering this is a console and PC orientated FPS game. That's not so impressive to look at on a handheld, but this is handheld, but you can't really complain too much about it. It's what you expect if you see a console game or a PC game on a handheld system. Next up, Sonic Advance 2. I have the original Sonic Advance, and I have Sonic Advance 3. Now I have Sonic Advance 2 in its cartridge form. Sonic Advance 2 is the Sonic game that features one of the newer characters, Cream the Rabbit, who is a young rabbit hybrid character who would become friends with Amy Rose. I tested only the first level to see it working, and it's not bad. Sonic Advance 2. yeah, like I said with Sonic Advance 2, it's really good. Although you only start the game with Sonic, and I'm assuming you have to play through the game multiple times to unlock all the characters, like Tails, Knuckles, Amy, and the aforementioned Cream Rabbit, who's the new character to this game, who would then go on to be featured in later Sonic games like Sonic Heroes, Sonic Battle for the GBA, which I'm probably did look for someday. What games did feature Cream Rabbit in? I can't remember. It's been ages since I last played Sonic the Hedgehog games. Next up, Advance Wars. It's the turn-based strategy game from, I can't remember the company. Oh well. Yeah, oh well. Yeah, this is a turn-based strategy game where you use all these various tanks, planes, troops to attack various enemies and hopefully win the battle. I've only played a few minutes of it to test it out. Although there's a save on here that was last used, and I can't figure out any way to delete the save file on it. So I will look online to see if there's a possibility of deleting the save on there, so I could start fresh and learn how to play it. Because I actually do want to play this, because I do hear some fantastic things about it. This is one of the highest received GBA games at the time. And then lastly, Mario Kart Super Circuit, a Mario Kart game. I'm an absolute sucker for Mario Kart games. Mario Kart 7, I have the Nintendo 3DS, is one of my favourites of the Mario Kart franchise. Mario Kart Super Circuit is actually really well done. For a Game Boy Advance game, and considering it's an early Game Boy Advance game, Mario Kart Super Circuit is without a fault. You can't go wrong with a Game Boy Advance Mario Kart game. It's really well done. I do find it a little bit difficult to go back to it. It's learning the drifting controls on this. I'm not even sure if the game has drifting controls on it. I don't know. I'll probably just need some more time to learn how to play this one. Now, I actually, believe it or not, have two cartridges of this. This is the official European cartridge. This, what I have here, is a bogus cartridge, a pirate cartridge, which I got many years ago, a fake. You can't see it very well, but here it is. This is the fake cartridge, and here's the official European cartridge. What makes this a fake cartridge is because of the change of the Game Boy Advance logo, and the build on the bottom of it is supposedly different, and that usually, if you take it apart, if you unscrew it and look inside of it, you'll probably notice that it uses a different kind of battery for operating it, as opposed to an official battery that Nintendo puts in with these real Game Boy Advance cartridges, where they use a battery backup. And they also use a fake logo of the Nintendo and the ESRB rating, which is the American rating system. I'm full aware. Not to mention the coating on the cartridge is different. And these are frequent. You can frequently find these on eBay or in second-hand game stores that surprisingly will take these things in. And the thing I do say, and the most frequent guilty pleasure of these are with the Pokemon games. My advice, if you do see one of these pirated game cartridges about, stay away from them. If you're going to buy Game Boy Advance games on eBay, look carefully at the cartridge to see if whether or not it's a fake or an official cartridge. If you can see an official cartridge on the Game Boy Advance, then yeah, you're good to go. You're good, you're safe, you're free, you're more or less safe to pick it up. So I kind of wanted to keep hold of this because like I wanted to show you what the cartridge is, what it looks like. So there you go, that's all my games I recently picked up. So I actually did quite a bit of a better haul of gaming, picking up whole scene of gaming pickups. Did better picking up these games than previous months. That's maybe because of all the products I'm recently been busy with, but alas, I'm adding a bit more to the collection and I'm hoping to add more as I go along. But as you already know, my bigger projects I'm working on. Cyber Dimension Neptunia, and there's going to be a more bigger project that's going to come out tomorrow that I will announce. And another things I'm going to be announcing is, what I have been busy with, and that is I've been busy with Adventure Quest Worlds and Dragon Fable. I've gone back to Dragon Fable. I recently installed a Onyx game launcher on my computer, and I've set up my accounts of Dragon Fable and Adventure Quest Worlds back. My characters I used on Dragon Fable and Adventure Quest Worlds are up to scratch, and I'm continuing off where I left off on those. Dragon Fable, I remember the last thing I did was, I think, was in the Pops Bucket area where I fought in the war and I didn't get, and there was a Dragon Orb I needed to pick up there. So I'm still on the first book of 3 books in the Dragon Fable game. But my character is level 67. I think I was level 58 when I actually left the game. So from then onwards, I'm actually grown up 9 levels from the last time I played it. Mainly because of the war I played in. I actually played in the Friday the 13th war that appeared in July, and I did that, and I've been upgrading my Defender's equipment and such, and Adventure Quest Worlds, I've done 2 more factions. I've done the Hork reputation, the Chronospan reputation, and the Trollsmith reputation. I've gotten the free classes, and now I'm just working on blacksmithing, because I think that's going to be an easy one to. I think that's going to be an easy reputation to do, because the highest rank I can do for that one is 4. Was the other ones I can do up to 10. They can only go up to 10. They can go up to 10. So, so I have been spending plenty of time sorting myself on Adventure Quest Worlds, doing my daily stuff on that. I'm trying to get my character up to stuff on that. And I'm hoping to look through the inventory, and I'm hoping to go through my inventory, see what items I need and don't need. And as well as that, looking at other equipment and items I will keep an eye out for in the meantime. So there's going to be a lot of Adventure Quest Worlds and Dragon Fabling next couple of months. But I will take the time to continue on with my projects. I mean, I've got plenty announced. I'm hoping to get back within things after my birthday, which is coming up on the 24th of August. I will be deciding what game I'll be having for my birthday with my parents, and I will show it to you on the 24th of August when it's my birthday, and such. So there's going to be quite a bit I'm going to be busy with. Alright. Right, Final Jump Cut. So yeah, I'm going to eventually be adding all these games onto my account, on the GameSpot channel, and then I'll eventually get again back to my main gaming project, Simon mentioned Neptunia, getting that reviewed, and then I'll talk about the other things I'm going to be mentioning. So that was it, guys, for me to talk about. This for gaming pickups I picked up throughout July. So yeah, I actually enjoyed quite picking up a couple of these games. So hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope to catch you all again next time. Thank you and goodbye.